Next up, we got Breaking Dawn Part 1, and I don't have this one physically. I have Part 2, and, like, if you've seen the other videos, I have the other ones. You know, like, I have them all. I don't have Part 1. It didn't come in the mail. I streamed it to watch it. It's on, like, Hulu or whatever. I don't recommend watching this one, though. This one is the worst one. This is, like, the worst movie in the series, and it's not even close. Breaking Dawn was already not a great book, if you read it when it came out, or, you know, recently. It already wasn't the best book. It's a little overly long. It's kind of preachy. We'll get into that, but it's just not a very good book. And cut the movie in half, because they made it 2 parts. The back half is actually pretty good. We're going to do that in a separate video, but I just want to say the back half is actually pretty good. But the first half, the stuff with the wedding, not very good. This is like the worst part of the books, and they made an entire movie out of it. And that makes it the worst movie. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not, because this one's actually really bad. This is like, it's not funny. It's not unintentionally funny. It doesn't work on pretty much any level. It's almost an entire movie just about them getting married and then her getting pregnant. And let's start with my main problem with this movie. If you've watched the other videos, you know where this is going. Why did they make Jacob a weirdo? Why'd she make Jacob a weirdo? He did nothing wrong. That man did nothing wrong. You created a perfect character. He was good. He was a dog. And you throw it away. He gets upset and runs away. And then they get married. And he comes back for the wedding. And that's cute. That's nice. He wants to be there for that. And then he gets really angry that Bella and Edward are going to have sex. And, like, come on, man. Like, you lost. Like, what? I get it. Again, he could hurt her. That's a possibility. However, it's weird. Like, it's just weird. He can't bring that. He can't be the one to mention that. It's weird. It's creepy and it's weird. Why are you doing my man like this? We're not going to get too far into that one because I have a lot more to talk about on this with the next video, and I did enough of it in the last video. So we're gonna drop the Jacob complaints for this video. Let's talk about the Edward and Bella complaints. Firstly, the wedding was kind of boring. Most of this movie is just boring, and not like there's no redeeming to the boring either. Like, it's just boring. There's nothing happening. The graduation is not particularly interesting. The wedding is not particularly interesting. Their vacation stuff is where it finally starts to get good. I will say, once they're on vacation and they're married, there's like a good maybe 15-20 minutes that's actually pretty good, right? They're at a little vacation house and they're having fun. They're doing their little thing. The sex scene is kind of funny. Obviously, it's a young adult movie. That there's nothing gratuitous going on. There's no like nudity or anything like that. But it's kind of funny because like he like rips the house apart and it's like everything's fine, and then he sees like this little bruise on her neck, this little mark, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've almost murdered you." No, never. And he spends the rest of like 20 minutes sulking about this and how they'll never have sex again. And she's obviously just like, no, we need to do this again now. Like, I want more of that right now, because like, look at this house, look at the result. Who wouldn't want more of that, right? Like, who's turning that down? Anyway, so that's pretty funny. And it goes for a little while where there's some nice stuff going on. We start to see her getting sick and not, really getting what's going on. Anyone who is older than like 14 should probably recognize that she's clearly pregnant, but regardless, they eventually figure this out. And the thing that makes this weird is the vampires cannot get pregnant. I feel like You mean to tell me in all this time of vampires, no one has had sex with a living woman? Like, I guess? I mean, we do learn that that's not true, but, like, I guess that's possible, but it feels like the kind of thing where they would have some knowledge of it, although maybe, like, obviously I don't think Edward would know, but I'm a little surprised that Carlisle doesn't know of this possibility and, like, what it can do, right? Weird, but okay. This is actually an interesting concept, right? Like, I'll give Stephanie that. This is an interesting concept in that, when's the last time we saw a vampire get a human pregnant, right? Like, that's weird. So, like, that's fun. And the baby's, like, murdering her from the inside, which is neat as well. And then, honestly, after that, though, like, once you find out she's pregnant, nothing happens. We do nothing for the rest of the movie until she actually gives birth. We get a lot of spiels about pro-life, which are annoying. And that's really it. Like, to be fair, Stephenie Meyer is, like, I don't know, a Mormon or something. I should probably look that up. Yeah, Stephenie Meyer, whatever. She's a Mormon. Stephanie's a Mormon here, and obviously that's going to shape her books. And I don't hold that against her. I'm not going to hold that against the books. Your beliefs are your beliefs. You're allowed to put them in the novels. I just don't agree. I'm sorry, the pro-life people are weirdos. I don't agree with them. So this just comes across really preachy, and you can do preachy and be more entertaining, and this isn't that. Like, it's just not entertaining enough to be this kind of preachy. And for some people, this might still work. So if you are a Mormon, or you are, like, super pro-life and weird like that, or whatever, that's fine. You might enjoy that more. You might enjoy this more. But I actually don't really think so. Like, if you're a Mormon and, like, super weird pro-life and, like, not abortion, not healthcare, like, maybe you enjoy this, I guess, but, like, I also don't really think you will, because it's not entertaining. Like, books and movies can be political, and then I would argue that pretty much all of them on some level are, right? But they usually have to be entertaining with that. That's not, you can't just offer an opinion on a political issue and call it a movie. You need to have something that makes us interested, and this movie kind of lacks that. She kind of just writes Bella in this out of character in this moment where we don't really learn a lot about the political leanings or beliefs of Bella. Like, to some extent you do. Like, there's always that feeling that Bella's just a self-insert, right? Like, that kind of always feels like the case. She feels like a Stephenie Meyer insert for the books, and that's fine. Like, you know, a lot of authors do write like that with the main character, at least in a belief sense, I guess. Anyway, it feels like in this particular movie, she's written to almost be like a mouthpiece for Stephenie Meyer's beliefs, without any of Bella's character being involved, and really without any development into it. There's no, like, slight showings of it. We're not shown anything that would push this belief that Bella would be willing to give her life for this possible child that we don't know anything about, that could be, like, and we know, or we learn that vampire children are, like, just unequivocally bad, right? Like, we learned that in the movie that they can never learn past a certain point. They never develop. They often can tear down cities and towns and stuff, and they end up having to be eradicated. Like, we learn that vampire children are essentially just evil. Like, there's no saving them, right? But also, Bella tries to argue that she's gonna give her life for that, like, something that's, they might have to kill this child regardless. And I think they kind of leave that out of the movie here, but they might have to kill this child even after Bella has the child. They don't know if this child's going to be a normal child or not. They have no indication of what this is going to be, and they know how bad a child turned into a vampire can be, right? It feels like in every way this is set up to go poorly. And I don't like that because it takes away any reality from the situation. And it's just, like, the metaphor she's trying to give is, oh, even if, you know, you're pregnant and you're, you know, it's life-threatening, you don't have an abortion, you know, you don't kill the child, you sacrifice your life as a mother, you sacrifice your life for that child. And that doesn't work here. Like, it's an analogy that doesn't work. Because even if you believe that in humans, which, again, is nonsense, but even if you believe that, it doesn't work here because that's like saying, I know I'm going to have baby Hitler, but also I'm going to give my life to make sure baby Hitler's born. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like, it's not a workable analogy to me, at least. This baby is actively killing you. You do not know if it's going to even, if you're going to make it, if it's going to make it. You don't know what's going to happen here. It's obvious the pregnancy itself is a problem. But then even beyond that, we know that vampire children are bad. Like, they're unredeemably bad. You can't save them. You can't fix their problems. They can't learn. They can't develop. Now, we don't know yet whether or not this child will be like that. But with all the information available, all we know is that children turned into vampires are a problem, and that this thing is obviously a vampire. She's literally drinking blood to feed it. So it seems like not a very good analogy, right? I think it's supposed to cause like a thought of like, oh, it's the extreme, like, see how much she would do for her child. And it just makes Bella look like a fucking idiot, to be honest. Anyway, this movie's kind of ass, and, like, even if we go and ignore the pro-life, the elongated pro-life speech, the movie's just boring. Nothing happens. All that happens is she gets married, she gets pregnant, and then at the very last second, she's sort of changed into a vampire. Sort of. That's it. We don't even see her wake up at the end of the movie. So, it kind of sucks. Like, I wouldn't recommend watching, like, outside of, like, I need to know the plot details of this, and, like, I can get why. This is a hard thing to do. This is a hard book to turn into a movie, because you can't cut a lot of this, because it is important to the plot, right? Like, obviously they have to get married. You could kind of speed up some of it, but you have to spend like 45 minutes on this movie just in gained information. And 45 minutes at the beginning of part 2 to just like throw a bunch of information at you would be a shit movie as well. So you can't cut this. But also, it's not interesting. Like, this is the highlight of Stephenie Meyer's poor writing, in that the book does a bad job of giving us this information in a way that's interesting, and it's too long. It's just too long of a book. It doesn't work out. This is information that we should have been given in pieces throughout the series, but it's clear she didn't know she wanted to go to this point. I would say my thoughts are just, she probably didn't realize how popular Twilight was going to be, and then when she saw how popular it got, she saw a chance to add in a little bit of her own beliefs in the beginning, and she did that, and that's fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm not going to take that away from you. You have your beliefs. You are allowed to propagate them in any way that you want. But it doesn't make the story interesting. The story and the movie still need to be entertaining, and this doesn't do that. It fails on that level. So it just feels like a shitty movie. Skip this one. This is the worst one. This is bad. This is just a bad movie. There's nothing redeeming here. The 20 minutes in the middle when they're on vacation is fun. Honestly, just know what happens. And you honestly, you could skip this and you can kind of figure out what's going on. The worst movie in the series. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.